Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I got a good one for you. How to save hundreds of dollars on your argon gas. 75-25. And even argon gas, you can do it. You can apply this to that as well. But you know, when you start welding, you probably start with flux core. Most people do. I did as well. I'll tell you that. But once you start going to MIG welding, where you're actually using the gas, it's night and day. You'll go from having to grind all your welds to just being so nice and fast. It looks good, looks professional, and so you'll really like making the change. But as we all do, we experience that initial cost, and the initial cost is your tanks. Right here, as you can see in the background, I got quite a few here, and then not only that, you have the tanks, but you also have the cost of refilling them. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, is that to refill, I'm going to be able to save you some money. And the way you can do that, let's take a look at these different tanks that I have here. We have in the background, so these look identical, but this one's actually, it's sitting up on the cart, so it's actually 4 inches or 5 inches shorter than this one. And so this one's a 330 cubic foot. This one's 250 cubic foot. And then I got two tanks here that are 125 cubic feet. And now these I keep on my rig. I keep one and my son keeps the other one on his rig. And that way if we get out on the job site, we can weld right there. Now what, I can't tell you exactly how much money you're going to save because gas changes all the time. But I can tell you this. I had this one filled just a couple of days ago, and it cost me $154. And this one I had filled about a month ago, or a couple of months ago, because I was out on the job site and I didn't have time to do this transfer that I'm going to show you today. But this one cost me $90. Now, when you do the math, you got 125 cubic feet in this one, and you got 330 in this one. So this one holds over 2.5 times as much as this. So if you multiply 2.5 times 90, what does that give you? 180 plus another 45. So you're looking over $200. Probably, you know, you would save almost $100 by using this, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to transfer this gas from this one to this one. And then also some of your other advantages that you have. If you go get one of these tanks, big tanks like this, you can keep it at your, like I do, I keep it at this one in my, I call it my small shop, and then I got my big shop, it's actually my garage. But I keep this one here in my garage. And whenever my truck's running low, I just top it off. Go and top it off, and then just keep doing that until it's time to refill. So that's what I do. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, if you want to get, what happens when you start to refill is that these two bottles are going to equalize. So if this one's at 2,000 psi and this one's at 2,000, as it's going in, it's probably going to equalize about both of them about 1,900. Then you're going to equalize this one about 1,800. The more you use it, of course, and then also how much is still left in here and so forth. So it's just something to keep in mind. But if you want to get the most out of the transfer, is keep the one that you're going to use to push into this one, is get this one nice and hot in the sun. Okay, the big one. Put it out in the sun, and then take this one and put it as cool as you can. Keep it in the shade or in the garage, and if you have AC in the garage, great. Keep it nice and cool, and that way when you do the transfer, it's going to allow more in here. And the reason for that is has to do with the molecules. I can't tell you the science, all the science behind it, but as it's leaving, the molecules are going out, so it's actually cooling this side, and as it's hitting this one, it's compacting the molecules, which is causing it to heat up, And so by you doing that temperature change, it will help more of this to go into this as it equalizes. So once the temperatures come together, you actually get a good transfer over, the best you can get. So let's go ahead and do a transfer, and then I'm going to show you now. I made this hose myself, and I have a Parker distributor here in El Paso, and I just went down there. I have the 2 inlets off old regulators that I had, and then I just put some 90s on it, and then I had this hose at Parker built for me with a hydraulic press. They press these on, so it's really a good hose. But now what I don't have is the bleeder valve for it, so I just use a crescent for that. You can do that as well, but they also sell transfer hoses with a bleeder valve on it. I'm going to share that link with you. Here's a picture of it right here. So if you decide to use that, you can. And let's go ahead and get this. Let me just get a crescent and we'll get started. If you decide to use that, you can. And let's go ahead and get this. Let me just get a crescent and we'll get started. Okay guys, got the crescent. Now this one's almost empty. This one's got some in it, so I'm just going to top this one off today. And then this one's completely full. And then what I always do is always blow them out, just to make sure. As you can see, this one hardly has anything in it, so it really doesn't blow out. And this one's full. As you can tell, it's totally full. So let's start with the empty ones, just so I can show you exactly where we're at here. And what I'm going to do is take this transfer hose, and I'm going to hook it in here. And now I put it on hand tight, guys. And then also going to tell you that now these tanks are really expensive, right? But if you we actually picked this one up for $125 on Craigslist. So you can find these. People sell them all the time, and that may be something you can do. So if you start getting the tanks and you own them, I always say it's best to own them. That's what I've done. And it's worked out real good. They do have a lease program. I just prefer to have them. And so, you know, you have to decide that. So what I do is I leave them a little loose, and then I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this one up here, nice and tight. And then I'm gonna, you know what? Let me close this valve. And the only reason I'm doing this is, again, it's safety. So I'm just blowing out any bad air out of this hose, just so that, and then if you have, like I said, if you have a bleeder valve, you don't have to do this step. So I get that in there like that, so you can hear it blowing real lightly, and then I'm just going to slowly crank it. That way I know, hey, I got all the bad air out of it, and keep all the good 75-25 mix going into this. Now I'm going to open this one all the way up, and I don't want to do this too fast. You can, but you're not going to get as good transfer. Again, remember the molecules going in there. So you can hear it. I can control the rate it's going, so you can hear it filling. Now I could open it full blast and it would just and fill right up. But once it's settled, you would lose about 100 or 200 psi off the tank, and that may not seem like a big deal, but you know what? You're out there on the job site and you're welding, and that 200 psi might be the difference of running out of gas or not that day, and having to shut everything down. So you know what, I might as well take 5 minutes here today and do that rather than lose 4 or 5 hours on the job site. So that's just the way I look at that. So open it up a little more. Now you know that this one was totally empty. So what I'm going to do is after we're done filling it, so you're gonna see this one's gonna get a little warm on the outside. This one's gonna get a little cool as it's filling. So, once we get this filled or transferred, we'll go ahead and put the gauge on it and see where it's at. And you'll see that what I'm talking about is, you know, these equalize. Now, the thing about the 330 cubic feet, they usually overpressurize. Well, I say overpressurize. It's not really overpressurized. They fill these up to 2,000. They fill these up to probably like 2,400. So this tank even though it was bone dry, it will probably be completely full at 2,000 psi, which is awesome. And like I said, it's going to save you a lot of money in the long run. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit faster flow. You just don't want to over speed it. And I'll promise you I'll speed this up during the process. Look, it's topping off now, guys. So, and I'm just going to show you this one. So I hear a tiny leak right there, so I'm just going to tighten that up. There it is. So I'm not gonna fill all these right now. At least filming, because I don't want to take up your time and bore you with that. But I did just want to show you how to do one tank here. And again, you know, there's a lot of different possibilities that you could use this in. So we're topped off now. There's no more transfer going in. You can't hear any air moving at this point. So I might as well just shut them both down. Now, if you order a hose with the bleeder valve, you can just open the bleeder valve and bleed it off. But like I said, I just use my crescent. You can hear it bleeding off. Okay. There it is. Yeah, and this tank's a little warm. Not super hot, but it's warm. If I would have opened it full blast, it probably would have got really hot. Really hot. Yeah, and so if you get a chance, guys, go on Craigslist, Facebook, whatever it is, Marketplace, and see if anybody's selling any tanks out there, and that could save you a lot of money as well. So that's definitely a possibility. There's all these people selling tanks, so you know, they bought them, they're getting out of business or whatever the case may be. So I'm gonna crank that up, loosen this, so no gas comes out of the air hose. So let's power it up, nice and slow like. All right, we are at about 1,500, guys. So yeah, you know what? I don't know if this gauge is perfectly accurate. Okay, guys, we're filled up and good to go. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope it saves you a lot of money and time and energy. And if it does, give me a thumbs up. And so subscribe. I'll be having a lot more videos on how to save money, how-tos, reviews, and so forth. That I think hopefully it can help you. And share any comments. I hope you can help me out as well. So thank you guys, and you guys always have a great day.